Before you buy your next coffee or toss loose change into a drawer, stop. Look in your pocket, your car's cup holder, that old jar on your dresser. What you see as ordinary spare change could actually be a silent fortune. And collectors are fighting over coins that look completely unremarkable to the untrained eye. Here's what you need to know about three specific quarters that have shocked the auction market. Why condition is everything, and why you should never, ever clean a coin. The 2003 Maine Quarter Philadelphia Mint, the sleeper that doesn't need an error. The 2003 Maine State Quarters dangerous, precisely because it looks so normal. It doesn't rely on a dramatic mint error to become valuable. In very fine condition with original surfaces. Examples have quietly climbed toward $80,000 at auction. Why? Back in 2003, the U.S. Mint was producing state quarters at breakneck speed. Demand was explosive. That intense production pressure caused die fatigue, inconsistent strikes, and quality variations that collectors now obsess over. The reverse design honors Maine as the 23rd state, featuring a rugged lighthouse and a sailing ship cutting through Atlantic waters. But here's what most people miss. Collectors study every tiny detail, the sharpness of the lighthouse beams, the clarity of the ship's lines, the depth of the strike. The Philadelphia P mint mark is especially important. Coins with stronger strikes and cleaner detail are aggressively hunted. And because millions of these quarters entered circulation during a period of economic uncertainty, untouched survivors are becoming vanishingly rare. Wipe it away and you destroy the very quality collectors pay for. The 2017 Frederick Douglass quarter. Old, dark, and worth $30,000. A dirty, worn-looking 2017. Frederick Douglass's quarter does not look like treasure. That's exactly why people keep losing them. This coin is part of the America the Beautiful series, honoring the Frederick Douglass National Historic Site in Washington. D.C. Douglass rose from slavery to become one of the most powerful voices in American history. That emotional weight drives collector obsession. The reverse shows Douglass seated at a desk inside his home. Cedar Hill. The Denver D mint mark examples with sharp, details clear chair edges. Distinct facial lines, strong desk features are the ones collectors hunt. Most of these quarters entered circulation fast and were handled harshly. People cleaned them. They polished them. They damaged them trying to make them look newer. That's why truly original survivors in old, dark condition have become so difficult to find. Some buyers specific, the golden rules ignore these and lose everything. Across all three coins, the same principles apply. Never clean a coin. That original surface is irreplaceable. Once destroyed, the value collapses forever. Professional grading is critical. Tiny differences invisible to the average person's strike depth. Surface preservation. Original toning can separate a common quarter from a hidden fortune. Condition changes everything. A naturally aged, untouched coin will trigger bidding wars. A cleaned or damaged one will not. Patience creates wealth. Collectors who hold instead of rushing to sell are watching demand grow stronger every year while supply keeps shrinking. Final warning. Before you spend another quarter, check the date. Check the mint mark. Look closely at the surface. Hidden wealth does not always shine. Sometimes it looks old, dark, and completely ordinary. Millions of people have already touched these coins without realizing they were holding a life-changing opportunity. Don't be the next person who spends a $70,000 quarter on a cup of coffee. Why survivors are so rare. What makes the 1919 no mint mark wheat penny truly special is survival. These coins circulated hard during difficult years. They passed through factory workers' hands, grocery counters, wartime families, and countless cash registers before most disappeared forever. Never clean this coin. Even slight cleaning damage can erase enormous value instantly. Original toning matters more than most people understand. Collectors actually want the darker surfaces, the uneven aging, the old copper smell, and the natural dirt trapped around the lettering because it proves authenticity and untouched history. The auction shock. A fine condition. 1919 wheat penny without a mint. Mark has reached astonishing auction levels around, without needing dramatic minting errors to push the value higher. That is life-changing money hidden inside a coin most Americans would ignore without a thought. Professional grading is critical. Tiny differences in strike sharpness, rim definition, and surface preservation separate ordinary examples from hidden treasure. Some collectors study Lincoln's cheek lines, the spacing in the wheat stalks, and the sharpness inside the lettering under magnification for hours. Auction rooms become strangely intense whenever a truly original 1919 Philadelphia wheat penny appears because advanced buyers no supply keeps shrinking while demand keeps climbing. But don't look away yet. The next wheat penny is surrounded by even darker collector rumors. The 1956D wheat penny. The coin collectors hunt in silence. There's something deeply unsettling about the 1956D wheat penny because people keep spending it without realizing collectors are quietly chasing it like buried treasure. This coin slips through gas stations, grocery stores, old jars, and pocket change every day, while serious buyers watch auctions with absolute obsession. Most people think only error coins matter, but that is where they make the biggest mistake. Industrial pressure, hidden value. During the mid-1950s, America was exploding with industrial growth, new highways, booming suburbs, non-stop consumer spending. The Denver Mint was under relentless pressure to produce massive amounts of coinage for a rapidly expanding economy. That production stress left behind coins with subtle characteristics that collectors now treat like hidden gold. What to look for. The front of the coin carries the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right. In God We Trust arches across the top while Liberty rests beside Lincoln's profile. Just below the date sits the tiny D, mint mark that turns this penny into something far more important than ordinary pocket change. The coin was struck in a bronze alloy, primarily copper, blended with tin and zinc, giving untouched examples a warm, reddish-brown glow that collectors emotionally connect with instantly. It weighs approximately 3.11 grams, measures 19.05 millimeters across, and has a thickness near 1.55 millimeters. The shrinking supply. What makes this penny truly dangerous to ignore is how difficult it has become to find authentic survivors with original surfaces intact. Most examples were heavily circulated during a period when nobody imagined these coins would ever matter. They were bent, cleaned, polished, scratched, and tossed aside for decades. That means a naturally aged 1956D wheat penny with honest wear and untouched toning has become incredibly desirable. Never clean this coin. Cleaning destroys value forever because collectors want originality, not artificial shine. The darker copper color, tiny patches of antique toning, and even dirt settled deep inside the lettering can dramatically increase collector interest. Ibai censure. Ling 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 penny. This is not fiction. D. Wheat penny in fine condition has reached auction market levels around 10万 without relying on dramatic mint eras or strange varieties. That's a life-changing money hiding inside an ordinary-looking coin that Americans accidentally lose every single day. Professional grading is critical because tiny differences in strike quality, surface preservation, and rim sharpness separate average examples from serious hidden wealth. Some collectors spend years searching for one with the exact texture and appearance they want. Auction behavior around this coin has become surprisingly emotional. Experienced buyers, no supply. Keeps shrinking while long-term collector demand keeps climbing. Many collectors who own strong examples refuse to release them back into the market, creating even more pressure every year. Some become obsessed with tiny details most people never notice. The sharpness of Lincoln's jawline, the spacing around the date, or the definition within the wheat ears on the reverse. Do not spend this coin. Check every old penny carefully, especially the mint mark and the natural surface. Color before doing anything else. And the next wheat penny is even more terrifying. The 1941 wheat penny no mint mark. One invisible detail that changes everything. The 1941 wheat penny without a mint mark is one of those coins that quietly disappears into circulation, while collectors panic behind the scenes trying to secure original examples before they vanish forever. Most people see an old penny and ignore it instantly, but serious collectors know this specific coin carries a strange kind of power in the market. Born on the edge of war, this coin was born during one of the most tense moments in American history right before the United States entered World War II. Fear, industrial pressure, and economic uncertainty were building across the country. The Philadelphia Mint was running at enormous capacity to keep up with national demand. Some of these pennies are still hiding in old jars, forgotten drawers, and inherited collections, while people accidentally spend them every day without realizing they are holding hidden treasure. Design details that matter. On the obverse, Abraham Lincoln faces right beneath "In God We Trust." Liberty appears beside his portrait, and the date 1941 sits below. There's no mint mark under the ear, meaning the coin was struck in Philadelphia. During a time of massive national transition, flip the coin over, and the famous wheat ears stretch along both sides of the reverse, surrounding 1 cent in United States of America. While E pluribus unum rests above the center line, the coin was struck in a bronze composition made mostly of copper with smaller amounts of tin and zinc, creating that rich vintage color collectors immediately recognize. It weighs approximately 3.11 grams, measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter, and carries a thickness close to 1.55 millimeters. The originality factor. What makes surviving 1941? No dash mint, dash mark wheat pennies, so desirable today is originality. During the war years and decades after, millions were damaged, melted, cleaned, or lost forever. Many people polished them to make them shiny, completely destroying the surfaces collectors desperately want. Never clean this coin. Original toning matters enormously. The darker brown shades, subtle red highlights, natural aging, and even tiny patches of dirt trapped around the lettering can increase collector interest dramatically. Professional grading is critical. Small differences in strike, sharpness, rim condition, and untouched surfaces separate common-looking examples from serious money. Collectors study tiny details obsessively, including Lincoln's jawline, the wheat grain definition, and the exact spacing inside the lettering. The Shuwen Wuteme reality. This coin has reached astonishing market levels around $155,000 in fine condition, without requiring dramatic minting errors or special varieties. That is life-changing wealth hiding in a tiny copper coin people still overlook daily. Auction behavior surrounding this coin has become surprisingly aggressive in recent years because supply keeps shrinking while emotional collector demand keeps rising. Some buyers refuse to sell once they finally secure a strong example because they believe these coins represent disappearing American history. Auction rooms often become silent when an original 1941 Philadelphia wheat penny appears with attractive natural toning and honest wear. Then suddenly, the bidding explodes. Do not spend this coin. Check every old wheat penny carefully, especially the date, mint mark area, and surface texture. Patience creates wealth in this hobby, while impatience destroys opportunity. One careless cleaning or rush sale can erase a fortune forever. Final warning: the treasures people ignore the fastest. The rarest treasures are often the coins people ignore the fastest. Wheat pennies from the 1910s and 1950s are still out there. They're in old jars, forgotten coat pockets, family collections, and even takeout change. And while most people see nothing but worn copper, Collectors see something else entirely: history, scarcity, and life-changing value. Here's what you need to remember. Never clean an old penny. You will destroy its value. Check the mint mark. A tiny D or no mint mark at all can mean everything. Look for original color and texture. Dark toning, uneven, aging, and natural dirt are good signs. Get professional grading. Small differences in strike and surface. Preservation separate ordinary from extraordinary. Do not rush. Patience creates wealth in this market. If you want more rare coin secrets hiding in plain sight, stay with Rare Coins Secrets USA, because the next coin we uncover might be even more shocking than all of these combined.